today we are getting a late start. It rained this morning and we have a big project that we want to do. So Jason's getting all of his stuff ready. He will be saw and weed eater and the lovely little thing I call saw on a stick. He still has never told me the real name of it. Saw on a stick. So, thank you. What we are doing today, hopefully if it's not too muddy, this little area right here is one of the first areas that you see when you come into the property. And as you can see, we have some stone. That lovely pile back there with the ditchweed has brush in it, which we need to get that cleaned up. But again, it's so soggy that we don't want to be ruining the grass to get anything cleared up. But this is going to be the area that we're going to work on, just because it was close to the road. We'd be able to drag the sticks to the road, and then we would be able to use the skid steer to take it to the new brush pile that we're going to be putting in the back. So this is the area we're going to be working on today, and as soon as Jason gets properly dressed with pants for all of his tools, we will go ahead and get started. Ladies, good morning. Gonna say hello to everybody. They're loving the wet weather, all the bugs that come out. But went to the county fair last night and I found several new ladies that I want to add to the crew. Some pretty funny looking ones and stuff. So make some contacts and hopefully we'll be adding to our group of ladies. And two fellas.
So the project for today is kind of clean this area up. It's the part that was behind the wagon. Try and trim these trees up a little bit, cut some of them down, thin them out, trying to make them a little healthier so they're not growing into each other. Try and trim this up. We do have some path through here that we can mow. I've gotten cleaned up, got the deadfall and the branches and stuff. A lot of the branches hang down though so low that you get you get smacked in the face when you're trying to mow. So we'll try and get some of those cut up so we can mow better back in here. The lilacs from the front are on the other side. We're going to trim some of those up. So we're hoping what it does is makes it so we can mow here a little bit better and clean this area up, look nicer when you first come into the property. People probably wonder why we're mowing so much. We do kind of plan on eventually, I'd like to plant some like wildflowers so that we don't have to mow as much. But right now, if we'd let it go, it just turns into weeds. It's not nice grass. It can grow tall and choke stuff out. And even in this area, the grass don't look so bad, but there's a lot of little volunteer trees that are just kind of bushes now, so we keep that mowed to keep those down. I do keep like the milkweed and some of the other wildflowers. I try not to mow down for the butterflies and bees and stuff, pollinators. Pretty sure this is where we got some deer that come through. They go up to my feeding stations. They come through there. But that's our project for today, to try and kind of clean this area up. There's a lot of areas like this that just need a little bit of work. So this is, I call her Bambi because she's a deer. One of the first purchases, major purchases once we moved to the farm. Spent a little more than we wanted to on it, but it's been a a real lifesaver, back saver. Told my wife she's kind of scared of stuff like that when she first moved out. When we first moved out here, and I says, you got to learn to run it. And that was a mistake because now I never get to run it anymore. So she's taking her, shifted into high gear. She's on her way. But yeah, she kind of took that over, and I get to do all the manual labor. But it's really helpful. So it's time for a little break. It is oppressively hot out. There's no wind, and the humidity is about 100%. It's only like 80, 85 degrees. But like I say, part of it we're back in this little area. And so there's absolutely no wind. I don't think there's much today anyway. And with the humidity, so yeah, that's that other one. You can kind of see the trees have just soaked up the water from the last few days, you know, and they're just, when I cut it's actually just almost running out of the cuts. It's kind of crazy. I've never really seen anything like that. One nice thing I think that'll help is that, you know, the shade is nice, but it shades the ground so much that the ground doesn't dry out. Well, when that happens, you know, it rots the roots, it makes the ground soft, and I think that's actually kind of harder on the trees. So I think in the long run, this really will give us a healthier little area right here. And then the lilacs that are back there should be able to get a little more sun on both sides once we clear it out. And we'll be able to put some grass and stuff there and mow. That should look a lot nicer than this kind of overgrown mess we got.
And decorate.
Yeah, I don't know how far we're gonna get this weekend. It's like every project we do here. It's taken way longer than we want it to or expect it to. I'm not sure why we haven't learned yet. I'm gonna go into the air condition for a little while, get me some water, maybe a snack, some cookies or something. And we'll be back to finish some of it. All right, I'm done. Show you what we've done today, but I am done, shot. I've been doing this for about 6 hours now. Here's one clearing. Now that we've kind of got some of it cleared off, I can get back in here a little bit better and show you just how bad these lilacs are, how overgrown they are. She claims they're like 100 years old. They did flower this year pretty decent. If you see down there, try and get the camera down there. Sorry for the, I mean, look how thick those are. I guess, you know, lilacs really aren't supposed to get over a couple inches thick on the stems or the shoots. These are just all twisted. They got no strength left to them. They're all twisted over. It was kind of funny. The lady before, she'd take sticks and she'd prop these, ones that had fallen over, and she'd prop them up in the air, instead of trimming them. But, this one's just, it's flat laying on the ground. So we're hoping if we trim these, I'm not even sure where the original roots are at, but hopefully if we trim this, we'll start to get some more, young shoots out of it. You can see we get young shoots, but a lot of them are coming up out of the actual branches that are laying down. So they're almost like a sucker branch. Lilacs only bloom on the third, unless the branch has to be 3 years for it to bloom, 3 years old. So we may end up losing some blooming the next few years as we trim these back. It's just gonna have to be what it is. Because if these stay going like this, they're gonna be dead anyway, and we're not gonna have any lilacs. And that lilac is 15 foot tall. They're not supposed to get that tall. So, just thought I'd give you a little peek back in here, show you what we got to work with. We're gonna make this is gonna be a several video project. I think I'd have to cut too much out for it to be short enough that people would actually be interested in watching it. So we'll have a video of what we've done today. Like I say, I hope it's progress. Sometimes you got to take a couple steps back to take a step forward. When I say, like I say, we do heat our house with firewood, and we got us a pretty decent stack of it today. So
for 2 years.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while for it to dry.
Well, baby.
We're done with day 2 of our little project. As you can see, a whole lot less lilacs now. Some of them were even, you can kind of tell they were actually turning black. I don't know if that's from lack of sun, too much water, just being choked out. So I think in the long run, this definitely is going to help. A lot of this, we actually went in and showered before we shot this little video, and how much it's dried up just since we've, in about an hour, hour and a half since we've been out here is crazy.
That is crazy.
It's kind of surprising to me. So I think it should really help this area get healthier, kind of show you the difference. Here's the before, because we haven't gotten to this part yet. And here is the after. Hopefully with being cut back a little bit, they'll grow a little bit more. You know, I'd like to see them grow a couple feet taller. I don't know if we'll have any blooms this next spring or not, but we'll have to wait and see. But this is the end of this little video. We'll post this part, and in this week, as we go along, we'll continue to work on this project, probably a little bit every night. Gonna try and figure out something to do with all of these stinking piles of branches that are around.
That's just it. You gotta see these things. Like... So I'm 5'6". We'll say.
There's one. There's another. And another. And another over by the trash can. So I'm actually thinking about renting a wood chipper next weekend and seeing how that works, just to give it a try. But thanks for watching, the 2 or 3 of you that have. We'll see you on the next one.